You studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. Well, so you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
These Negroes aren't asking for no nation. They're trying to crawl back on the plantation. A revolution is bloody. Revolution is hostile. Revolution knows no compromise. Revolution overturns and destroys everything that gets in its way. And you sitting around here like a knot on the wall saying, I'm going to love these folks no matter how much they hate me. No, you need a revolution. Don't scare Negroes today with no badge or no white skin or no white sheet or no white anything else. The police the same way. They put their club upside your head and then turn around and accuse you of attacking them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault. What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this. And it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. Yes, sir. This is American justice. Yes, sir. That's right. This is American democracy. Yes, and those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Right. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. Right. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me.
You gotta hear this. So 70% of inmates are a product of a single-parent household. What they don't tell you is that single fathers produce similar statistics of those of homes with two parents, while single mothers don't. So the key to keep your children out of prison is the father, but mothers are awarded custody 90% of the time. Women are incentivized to leave a marriage, and prisons profit $74 billion a year. Am I thinking too much, or is there some sort of plan here?
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Bismillah, wa salatu wa salamu rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. And I greet you all in peace and love and no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share this one. Share this one. You know, we got a lot of haters up in here, and the hate runs deep in the hearts of men. It runs very, very deep. The envy, and for no reason, absolutely no reason, other than you are dark-skinned and nappy-headed, and they hate you just for that. And when you win and when you succeed, your success triggers them so much that they try to off you and kill you. And these types of people always and forever in your way, at the same time calling you brothers. If you black folk, if you want to remain under the toes and the feet, the smelly feet of these white supremacists in thobes and beards, then know this. Those white supremacists and you yourself one day will have to meet Allah. And this day will come while you don't know. And Allah and the Prophet ﷺ both explicitly specified that there is no superiority of human beings over other human beings except through taqwa. And you want to run behind people without taqwa and make brotherhood behind them? A people who have now followed another religion called Algorithm Islam. The Algorithm Islam. Wherever the algorithm takes them, that's their religion. These infiltrators and these perpetrators who have nothing good to say about black people and nothing bad to say about white supremacy, these are your brothers. You're talking about a people that when Tyree Nichols, when he died, these people did not send their condolences to his family. They did not say that this was a great injustice, that this man was murdered in cold blood. They didn't even say that Black Lives Matter. But what they did say, you want to know what they said? He needs a reminder of what they said. Who would like a reminder of what they said? Y'all want to see? Who want to see? They did not say. They did not even express anything of sympathy to the family of the murdered. But what they did say, what they did express is this. Andrew Tate is guilty of sex trafficking in the same way white supremacy is guilty of killing Tyree Nichols. Just let that sink in for a minute. You see, the Nazi sympathizer and the white supremacist enthusiast thought he was being witty and smart by killing about 2 or 3 birds with one stone. First, his undying love for the red pill superstar Andrew Tate. Second, absolving once again white supremacy of any guilt or any responsibility for the absolute wickedness and devilness that has spread throughout the earth. And third, once again, lauding and trashing and spitting on the name of another murdered black man, Tyree Nichols. But what he did not know is that Tyree Nichols was a Muslim. He did not know that. Surprise! But not only was he a Muslim, he just converted last year. So he's not even a Muslim that long. And we made some very, very serious du'as on behalf of our brother, Tyree Nichols. And it seems that these du'as have been, alhamdulillah, answered. May Allah reward Tyree Nichols with every single backbiter who spit on his death. May Allah reward them with their good deeds. And may Allah absolve him from his bad deeds and put it on the same white supremacist enthusiasts. Ameen. Everybody say Ameen. Everybody say Ameen in the chat. I want to say, may Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 100,000-fold. Ameen, 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 Sister Tika. I mean, everybody say Ameen in the chat. Everybody say Ameen in the chat. So look at here. This, in 2023, this conundrum that we have is that we have a situation where black folk have been entering Islam in droves, in floods, since the 60s, okay? They haven't, of course, they haven't got support by these white supremacist devils. Of course not. As a matter of fact, we caught absolute hell from these wicked devils. But here's the thing. The white supremacist Muslim who runs around with these large platforms and even given platforms to speak to black people and are used as Trojan horses and tools to dilute the call of black unity within the Muslim community. These devils, they can't stand when you talk about all just the injustice inflicted to you or against you by your open enemy. They can't stand that. As a matter of fact, they will run to be a shield between you and Zaddy. It burns them when you talk about it because the truth burns all devils. I will repeat that. It burns them when you talk about it because the truth burns all devils. And when they go to hell, if I had any power, I would kick them so they can land there even a bit quicker, bi'idhnillah. Whether it be the white supremacist in a white hood or the white supremacist in a white thobe. May Allah burn them all, ameen. May Allah burn them all, ameen. May Allah burn them all, ameen. This is how wicked and evil they are. They want you to remain silent about this wicked system that they have set up, which makes black men hate other black men so much so that they put it in their music about murdering each other and that they glorify it. And a black man could beat another black man in the streets till death. But they don't want us only just to remain silent about it. They just want us to take it. And if you dare talk about it as a Muslim, you are the ones who are making Islam about racial issues. Remember Wajdi? Who remembers Wajdi? Who remembers him? Remember the Black Lives Matter protest? And Wajdi opened up his big mouth from that big bald-headed church troll head of his? Remember that? And he said, it seems like these scholars now, they want to be on a racial tip instead of an Islamic tip. Remember he said that? Who remembers that? Did the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, did he stand up for Bilal ibn Rabah because of his blackness? Did he do this? Did he do this? Yes or no? Did he stand up for Julaybib because of his stature and his blackness? Did he do this? Did he do this? Yes or no? So the Prophet ﷺ, he did this in his lifetime for things that are on a much lesser scale. And these bones and biscuits want to tell you that you making Islam about a racial tip is against Islam, and they always questioning you about your blackness and your Islam. They're questioning you. They don't question these crackers. They have no questions for this. Andrew Tate is guilty of sex trafficking in the same way that white supremacy is guilty of killing Tyree Nichols. They don't question that. But they have the audacity and the nerve to come to you and ask you questions about why are you talking about black stuff? Why are you talking about black stuff? Why is Daniel Haqiqatjou talking about black stuff? Why is he talking about even this white supremacy stuff? And not only talking about it, but saying that the white supremacist and the Muslim need to unite to fight the liberal. You don't say, not a single one of these bones and biscuits have anything to say about that, including Wajdi. Including Wajdi. The only time they're ready to talk about Daniel Haqiqatjou is because he's Khariji. Not because he's a Nazi sympathizer, not because he's a white supremacist enthusiast, but because he's a Khariji. He has Khariji tendencies. And the people who are calling Khalid Green House Muslim According to Dajjalocene, those are the racists. Not this dude. Those are the racists, according to them. They have nothing to say about this up until this very day. These are your brothers? These people? No, these are the brothers of our enemies and the enemies of Allah himself. Always the shield, the go-between, the PR element between black folk and Zaddy. I hope y'all are sharing this. I hope y'all are sharing this. But can you imagine that they even have the audacity and the boldness and the forwardness to come on this channel trying to vilify us by calling us Pan-Africans, pro-black, and black nationalists, like this is some sort of epithet? Like this is supposed to be some sort of insult? You know, these people, they want to destroy the relationships that we are building with other black people within the wider social media spaces because they see us as a threat. And guess what? We are the threat. Let us be clear about that. You should be threatened. This black unity is coming whether you like it or not. We have seen the games that you have played for the last 60 plus years. Your infiltration, your disruption, your dismantling of black organizations, tearing up black families, always interfering in our affairs. We've seen this many times. And guess what? Those tricks you've been doing, they ain't working like they used to. It's a new day. All your tricks and your plots, they just don't have the same potency like they used to. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 100,000-fold. Ameen, brother Kev D. Everybody say Ameen for the brother Kev D. Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. I shouldn't even say 60 years. You're right, Kev D, for saying that. Because it's more like 100 years. Ameen, 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 brother Kev D. Because if you think about it, they've been doing this since Marcus Garvey. That's what the FBI was about. So you're talking about a good century. They've been infiltrating, co-opting, taking over entire movements, entire black movements, making up new black movements, like black feminism. That wasn't a grassroots movement. That was a totally made-up movement by the CIA for black people. Just making up stuff. MashaAllah, may Allah reward you and bless you, multiply it for you 1,000,000-fold, brother Kefti. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward you for your generosity and bless you and reward you tremendously. I mean. I'm too kind to the Cracker Patrol and them. Everybody say I mean to Kev D. I'm too kind to the Cracker Patrol and them. I'm too kind for the Cracker Patrol and them, according to Kev D. Yeah, maybe we should do a Farrakhan Fridays and a Call of Muhammad Mondays. What y'all think about that? These guys can say the most outlandish, outrageous anti-black statements and pro-white supremacy statements, and not a single one of your YouTubian elites have the nerve to say anything. Well, guess what? Guess what? Tyree Nichols was Muslim. Tyree Nichols was Muslim. And we ask Allah to reward our Muslim brother and to make his grave wide and widen his grave, along with my mother's. Ameen. And may Allah reward this brother from this backbiting that these white supremacists in thobes and beards have done for him simply because he was a black man murdered. That was his crime. Being a black man murdered. And because black people made noise about it, and we said rightfully so, despite the cops being black, this is white supremacy at work. And we went in detail in the last video, great detail, about the slave patrols, about white supremacy in blackface, about the overseers making black men beat the black slaves by force, buck breaking. All of these historical facts, we went into great detail about it. And we mentioned even things from our culture itself. The last video I put out got demonetized because I put out the clip from Boys in the Hood. The clip that everybody remembers from that movie. The black cop. The black overseer. We are giving these white supremacists in thobes and beards that work. And they are afraid of us uniting with other black YouTubers or social media influencers. They're so scared that they come over here, tell us that we are undercover black or whatever, Pan-African. Undercover? Who's undercover here? Undercover Pan-Africanists? Are any of y'all undercover? Put it in the chat, please. Are any of y'all hiding your love for black people? Put it in the chat, please. I want to see yes or no's in the chat. Who here is hiding? Who here is hiding? Ain't nobody hiding from you. We're not afraid of y'all. We're very, very open about our disdain for y'all. We'll make dua for you. I make dua for you in the morning. I make dua against you in the morning. MashaAllah. Thank you, Second Stone. Thank you. We ain't about that life. Ain't nobody hiding from you. We witnessed your brotherhood for the last 60 years. You didn't want to bury Malcolm X in a janaza. You did that. You were the ones who were saying that Malcolm X wasn't Muslim, and now you wanna claim his name. Y'all want to do that? You want to claim his name now? Malcolm X had to have his janaza done by a church. Distancing yourself from the black Muslims. all of your favorite Muslim organizations, all of them, in bed with political parties to get political money, mostly from liberals, as long as they did not do anything for black folk. We put that out there. And you expect us to be brothers with you? It's like Jesus said in the Bible. When those Jews said that they were the sons of Abraham. And then Jesus told those Jews, and Jesus is a Jew. He's a Jew. He said, if you were the sons of Abraham, you would be doing the works of Abraham. But you do the works of your father, the devil. That's you. That's you. You use these algorithms to build your platforms massive in order to monetize what is trending right now, which is alt-right talking points and red pill. And then you present it like it's Islam. And if you don't believe me, you should see what Daniel Haqiqatjou said about Sheikh Albani. Na'udhu billah. Na'udhu billah. You're talking about a person who never, and I don't know the unseen, but I'm telling you, he has never listened to a Sheikh Albani lecture in his life. Never. And you know what Daniel Haqiqatjou said about Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah? He said that Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah, and I kid you not, he said this. And I hope somebody will send me the link. If you have the link, you can send me. I'll put it out there because people might think I'm capping. But wallahi, he said this. He said that Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah, was a red pill Chad. He said Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah, was a red pill Chad. That's what he called him. Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah. Sheikh Albani, who was taught by his father, the Grand Mufti of Albania at the time before World War I and then the communists came. They left, they fled Albania, went to Syria. He got kicked out of his house by his father for opposing his father's opinions because his father was a Hanafi, right? Almost lost his eyesight because he read so much. He read every book in the library in Damascus. But not only did he read the books, but he, he organized them in order, footnoted, because you know in the library in Damascus, they have lots of manuscripts, right? And he made sure that they were put in order. He organized all of them. Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah. This is the man. Sheikh Albani is not like Daniel Haqiqatjou, okay? Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah, didn't take no 6 years to study Arabic and still don't know it, okay? Let's be very clear. You are not a student of Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah. Calling him a red pill Chad. And you know what? None of your YouTubian Dawa elites are going to say a word about that. Not a single one. Not one. Including your so-called YouTubian Salafi Dawa elites. They're not going to say a word about that. I promise you. But what they will do, they might invite him for an interview, right? Trying to build their own platforms. Because they're not really concerned with their religion is algorithm Islam. Algorithm Islam. It's not Islam, it's algorithm Islam. Wherever the algorithm takes them, that's their religion. That's why they're out there talking about red pill now. And you find these YouTubian Dawa elites. You know what they're saying? You know what your YouTubian Dawa elites are saying about the women now? If you see what they're saying about the women, some of the most outrageous, outlandish statements. Some of the most craziest statements. One of them, you have to control your woman. You must control your woman because women like to be controlled. I want y'all to think about that, okay? A lot of these Eastern Muslims from the East, they already have male-dominated societies. Look what's going on in Afghanistan right now with the Taliban and them. And these guys are praising that. Don't educate these women. Did the Prophet say something? Did he do this? Did he do this? We're not educating our women? Or did he specify days so that he would teach the woman specifically? Which one did he do? Y'all must be tripping. Y'all must be tripping. These are your YouTubian elites. Wherever the algorithm takes them, they make that a part of Islam. No matter where. You don't believe me? Watch this.
And I don't mean you personally, but we can say things like, well, the West is not bearing sufficient responsibility for its colonial past. And so at some level, that kind of devolves down to the individual. It's
so
like,
let me kind of rephrase it then. I think that's more of a left-wing criticism. It's like, this reparations and affirmative action programs. I'm not advocating any of that, and nor do I even believe in any of that, to be honest with you.
Nor me.
Yeah, so what I was putting as an alternative to that is this.
Told you. Because all these leftist politicians are out here giving black folk reparations and stuff. They're all talking about it. They can't wait to give black folk money. But why does he say that? Why does he say that? It's because Trump and them and alt-right and them, they losing their minds because black folk in the States are asking for reparations. And what do we say here on the feature? We say reparations, in my opinion, is it deserved? 100, you cannot deny that there are no people on earth more deserving of reparations than black folk. But these are your enemies. And they ain't giving you squat. And in Islam, we have two things. In Islam, we have either jihad or hijrah. That's it. You can leave this place, okay? Or you can make jihad. Is we making jihad? Hell no. Hell no. We have to come together first, and then we can see what we can do from there. But be aware, when you start coming together as black folk, the enemy will be right there to dismantle whatever organization you're trying to build. And they will send the most ridiculous, outlandish people to say things like, all y'all is black nationalists and stuff. What's the other one? CRT, critical race theory. That's irreligious. All kinds of madness they talking. Madness in order to silence you. But do you know how many black folk were murdered by police on camera? Not just murdered by police on camera. There's footage of it. Since George Floyd alone? Do you know how many? Or do you know how many black folk were murdered on camera since George Floyd? Just since George Floyd. Just since George Floyd. You have, pardon me, Breonna Taylor. You have Ahmed Arbery. You have Eric Garner. Philando Castile. Oscar Grant. Michael Brown. Walter Scott. Sandra Bland. Alton Sterling. John Crawford. Laquan McDonald. Jamar Clark. Antonia Martin. Tony Robinson. Samuel DuBose. Freddie Gray. Stephen Clark. Botham John. Nathaniel Pickett. Sean Reed. Breonna Hill. David McCaddy. Rashard Brooks. Manuel Ellis. And Elijah McClain. That's 25 people. 25. And Tyree Nichols makes 26. I'm going to ask you, how many out of all these names has Daniel Haqiqatjou ever said condolences to the family? You know, this is injustice. How many? Which one of you think he said? And if you include George Floyd, that's 27. See, black folk, we knew about this like for a long, long time. We know. We know we're getting murdered all the time with impunity. We know this. We understand this. We know who our enemy is. But how many of these names do you think Daniel Haqiqatjou or any of your Tubian die elites, how many of them did you think they said, you know, this is injustice? But what we find them doing is making all kinds of excuses for white supremacy, all kinds of excuses for white supremacy, and all kinds of excuses for the murderers of black folk. The people who murder black folk, they have excuses for them. But let a black person be involved in a high-profile murder and see what they say. Remember Kanye West with White Lives Matter? And Daniel Haqiqatjou and friends, they couldn't wait to tackle the injustice of Kanye being censored for making a White Lives Matter t-shirt. Now they know what justice is. And your bones and biscuits have the nerve to come over here in this channel and ask for evidence for his racism. Can you imagine how many videos now in that playlist? And they're still asking for evidence. These people don't want evidence. They don't want brotherhood. What they want is a narrative. Y'all hearing me? And as long as you keep playing with these people, and you keep giving them your ears and your comments, you're just pushing their algorithms. On this channel right now, we have almost 1,700 subscribers. Almost 1,700. If I check my stats right now, 75% of the people who view the features are not subscribed to the features. Okay, 75%. Can you imagine, even if just half of that 75%, subscribe to this channel, what that would do for the algorithms? But people are scared. And it's cool. It's cool to be scared. It's fine. What we're doing here, of course, is scary because it's truth telling. You think when the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he went out and he started making this dawah, he started calling the people to Allah, right? And you think the people was like, what? Worship Allah alone? What is that? It's called Islam? You want me to pray and worship? What? Give me some of that. I want some of that. You think that's what it was? It was a hardship. It was people trying to assassinate him and kill him and discredit him. They called him a soothsayer, a magician, a liar. No, did they call him a liar? I don't know if they call him a liar. Yeah, they call him a liar. Yeah, they call him a liar, yes. They call him a liar. They call him all kind of stuff. Because what he was doing, it wasn't just the fact that he was ordering the people to worship Allah only. That wasn't it. But it's the things that come with worshiping Allah only. Like, you can't be racist. You cannot be racist. Things like that. That is a part of your tawheed. You can't hate other people because of their tribe, because of their lineage. Allah doesn't look at those things. That's what if it was just about going to a corner somewhere and pray to Allah, they wouldn't have no problem with that. But what is he saying? Worshipping Allah requires you have to be just. You cannot oppress. There was a point in time with the Prophet ﷺ where he's trying to make dawah to the elites of Mecca. And they were saying, you know what? We will accept your religion, right? But just don't allow us to fraternize and socialize with those people, those lowly people and the slaves of the society. Let them have their own thing and we'll have our own thing. And we'll accept your religion. What do you think the Prophet ﷺ, what do you think he did? You think he accepted that? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. You think he accepted that? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Second stone, no way. Of course not. But these people in 2023 want to tell you that there is a way where white supremacy and Islam can coexist as long as it's against liberalism. And y'all eat it up. Y'all eat it up. And when we are out here with our very, very lonely and lowly 1,700 subscribers, our small, tight-knit community here, giving these people that holy and just work, y'all are scared to subscribe? But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because the bigger the monster, the more blessings that come. We are in the face of a massive, massive, massive monster that is garnering support exponentially every day. And we still in their face. We're still here. We're still here. They did all kinds of stuff to this channel, including permanently shutting it down. Muslims did that. They permanently got this. They got this channel shut down permanently. If it wasn't for this brother who helped me out, it would still be shut down permanently. Fear is a natural thing. It's a natural thing. But over here, you think there's, I don't come on and I start speaking like I'm speaking, and there's no nervousness because nobody else is doing it. Okay? Of course I'm nervous, but I'm fearing Allah more. I'm just fearing Allah more because somebody got to do it. Go to some of these YouTubians channels right now. Daniel Haqiqatjou, I think, got like almost 250,000 subscribers. 250,000! 250,000 subscribers. And he's sharing stuff like Andrew Tate is guilty of sex trafficking in the same way that white supremacy is guilty of killing Tyree Nichols. And he's sharing things like Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah, was a red pill Chad. In those exact words he said. She's saying Sheikh Albani was a red pill Chad. That's exactly what's going on, Brother Badgie. And they say it just like that. Who remembers Mark Collette? The debate, the so-called debate between Daniel Haqiqatjou and Mark Collette. Who remembers that? Was that a debate or was that a bromance? In Daniel Haqiqatjou, when Mark Collette says, it seems like us white supremacists, and also, well no, he didn't say white supremacists, they sanitize it, right? They don't say white supremacists no more. What they say is white nationalists. Because white supremacists, it has, a bad connotation, right? So we can't say white supremacists. We got to say white nationalists because it's palatable. We just want a nation for us white folk. That's all we want. We don't want no trouble. We just want a nation for us. That's just for us. What is America? What is Canada? What is Brazil? What is Venezuela? What is Colombia? Those nations were not built for, by white supremacists to build nations just for us. John A. Macdonald, first Prime Minister of Canada, said that Canada is going to be an Aryan country for Aryans. He said that. He said that. Dred Scott ruling in the United States, the Dred Scott ruling from the Supreme Court of the United States said that there are no rights that a Negro has that a white man is bound to respect. U.S. Supreme Court. What is that? But they say white nationalism. Why? Because if you say white supremacists, people might not like it. But if you say white nationalists, they're just innocent people trying to preserve their white heritage. Here comes Daniel saying, yes, us and the white nationalists, we should work together. Us, the Muslims, that's a fatwa, by the way. Us, the Muslims, should work with the white nationalists against the liberals. Daniel said that. Fatwa. And how are they garnering support for this? Are they garnering it with the Quran? How can you get support with this from the Quran. You can't. It's impossible. Are they garnering it from hadith? You can't do it with hadith. Impossible. Rulings from the ulama, they don't even listen to ulama. They're getting support through memes and algorithms. Can you imagine a new group coming up, like a new sect of Islam being formed right in front of our eyes? It's a new sect. Let's call it what it is today. It is a firqa. It's a new type of religion, even where Islam meets red pill and Islam meets alt-right politics merges into one thing, and then they say alt-right and red pill and Islam, it's all the same thing. And now you have Muslims talking about you have to control your woman. Control your woman. Did the Prophet say control your woman? Did he say that? Did the Sahaba say control your woman? Did Ibn Taymiyyah say control your woman? Which alim, even if you're a Sufi or whatever, any of your Sufi sheikhs say control your woman? Inquiring minds want to know. The closest thing to controlling your woman, the Prophet said something he mentioned, was the time of Dajjal, which is we are in, the era of Dajjal. We can say that, right? Dajjal ain't here yet, but the era, all the things that are preparing for his coming, we are in that era. We are in that era. The era of Dajjal. We can say that. And these guys who are forming their own religion without ulama, mind you, garnering so much support because of memes and one-liners and witty comments and tweets. But the one thing that they don't have is taqwa. That's the one thing that they do not have. Thank you. I like that. The Dajjalocene. I like that one. I'm keeping that one. The Dajjalocene. I'm gonna use that one. We got to remember that. The Dajjalocene. You know, you go. What are you watching on YouTube? Well, I got all the Dajjalocene YouTubers. So. Yep. But here's the killer. Baji, he said, I suspect foreign Muslims are leading themselves to the slaughter by trying to hold hands with people that hate them. But here's the killer. They've been doing this, particularly in the South Asian region, since they met Europeans. Remember, the South Asian region was very wealthy. And these Europeans, they wrote in their books how submissive these South Asians were. They brought, and we read it from the book, what's it called again? What's the book I read? The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. We read from that book, okay? How Jewish slave traders used to bring South Asians to the Caribbean because they were, one, racially distinct from black folk, and number two, they could take the heat and they could be put in charge of their slaves instead of white folk, and white people could just chill. And the South Asians were very happy to do that. Very happy to do that. They're very happy to leave, they're coming from their lands to go work for white folks. They didn't have to capture them, okay? They did not have to capture them. The South Asians, hundreds of thousands of them fought against the Ottoman Empire because British asked them to. Muslims, mind you, not the Muslims. hundreds of thousands. And us converts, we don't have no dog in that fight. We don't. Like, why? That is something that is, our religion is not really, like, our religion has nothing to do with that. These are just historical facts. These things actually happened. And they continue to happen because they are choosing to live under the system of white supremacy. And so they are happy, very happy, to become model minorities. Can you imagine? Model minorities. They're very happy to become model minorities so they can turn around and say, why can't you black people do anything? They're very happy to do that. Affirmative action. The vast majority of the recipients of affirmative action, which was an economic plan, which was meant specifically for black people after the civil rights era. Can you imagine, like, after 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow and being completely locked out of not just locked out, but massacred for developing your own economies. Entire towns burned to the ground for developing their own economies. Affirmative action was started as a program to ensure black people can compete now, in a racist capitalist world. And who are the majority recipients of affirmative action? Who are they? Put it in the chat, please. Who receives more affirmative action than anybody else? Somebody put it in the chat, please. Who remembers? Where are my day ones at? Mind you, affirmative action started for black people. And what did they say? They started saying, well, we need it for all minorities. And what is a minority? A minority is anybody who is not a white man. Who are the majority? Thank you, Baji. It's white women. White women are the majority recipients of affirmative action, a program that was started for black people by the enemies of black people. Okay? And do you know what the percentage of black people who receive the benefits of affirmative action is? Do you know what it is? Mind you, a program started for black people. But now we got to help all the minorities. We can't just help black folk. We got to help everybody. Everybody who's a minority, anybody who's not a white man is a minority, including white women. And white women are the majority recipients of affirmative action. And black people receive 0.1% of a program that was started for them. And you out here telling us we need to stop complaining about reparations? We've got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps? That's what you're out here telling us? This is what you're out here telling us? And from those recipients of affirmative action programs are the Eastern Muslims who set up entire large businesses through affirmative action programs, including in black communities. And black people can't even benefit from these programs. And they benefit from them, and they turn around and spit in our face talking about, why can't you do this? Every other community group, from the Muslims, their masajid are increasing in number. The only group that has masajid decreasing in number are black people. They're the only group. And you out here talking about, don't talk about this racial stuff is against Islam? That's what you want to tell us? That's what you want to tell us? Either we are brothers or we're not. If we are brothers, then my pain should be your pain, correct? If we're brothers like that. If we are brothers, then what hurts me hurts you, correct? So then why are you all coming out over here hurting us and shielding our enemy while you know? And then here's the crazy thing. And most black converts have experienced this at some point in time, is that when the kids of the Easterners start getting out of hand, they always come into us to help us out with their kids. But they don't want to marry us to their women. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? It's some real madness going on here. But I want to say salams. I want to say salams to Brother Black Dust. I'm not sure if you're brother or sister, right? But Black Dust. I want to say salam to Sister Tika. I want to say salams to Brother Somali against Pan-Africanism. I think it's brother. Salam to Sister Aisada Muhammad. Salam to Brother Muhammad Cherokee. Who else? Who else are we missing here? Who else? Salams to everybody, man. And I want to make dua again for Sister Tika. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 100,000-fold. And I make dua again for Brother Kev D. May Allah bless you and multiply you for you 100,000-fold. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Everybody say ameen. I want to say salam to Sister Rebecca, Iman, the Black West Indian Rose, mashallah. Okay. All right. Who else are we missing here? Salam to Earthly Nomad. Salam to everybody. Salam to everybody. And salam to Brother Baji. And salam to Brother, it looks like Second Stone somewhere in here. Let me try to find it. Salam to his brother, like I can't find it, but anyway, salam to Dika Adam, and we will see you next time, inshallah. May Allah reward you and bless you all, and don't forget to subscribe. We are almost at 1,700, but there's no reason why we can't have 10,000 subs. Why can't we? Why can't we? You understand? We are here. We're the ones that are putting our neck out on the line, you know, for telling the truth, you know. And we talk about unity has to be a real thing on this channel. We have to stay on code. We have to have a code of conduct. And we have to know how to deal with and support each other. If we have some differences, it's fine. My bad. Salam, Brother Abdullah bin Bobby a type. But we can, for this channel, like, subscribe, share. And that's all I ask of you, inshallah. And may Allah reward you. May Allah reward you all. May Allah bless you all. Subhanallah bihamdik wa shadalina ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.